All right, everyone, here we go with an Is This You reading. Is this you? Well, these readings, you know, they might be you, future influence. This is one of those ones where I have a pre-shuffle here, where I shuffle before I hit record, and I ask the universe, give me a profile of somebody watching. I think it's a lot of somebodies here based on the energy of this week that's around, which I'll talk a little bit about here. But this is one of those readings where I hope the fuck it is you. Okay, so we're going to talk about it. Let's do it. Is this you? I don't know. I hope so in this case. But either way, could be future influence. A general reading may or may not resonate with you, but if you're here for a reason. There's a whole playlist of these. They're all timeless. Okay? That said, anything that calls to you, I try to do the titles that might, whatever, kind of talk about the reading anyway. So, is this you? Okay. 10 Wands. Crossed by the Sun, Justice, crossed by the Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, Victory, and then a Two of Swords and a Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles bookending the Ten of Wands. Nine of Pentacles, liberation, freedom. You're making some habit changes. It feels forced to you. It feels like conditions beyond your control are forcing you to make changes, make a decision of some kind. Okay? And that's kind of what's happening. A breaking point's being reached. And sometimes this just happens within the energy. The energy of this week is conducive for this kind of thing. I thought it might show up in some of the readings. I shuffled on it, and here it is, laid out right here in my profile of whoever the hell I'm talking about here in this Is This You reading. It's time to make a change. It's time to change habits. We get stuck in ruts. They could be good habits. They could be bad habits, routines, whatever it is. The energy of it feels forced. It feels like, why am I doing this? Is this a punishment? Is this whatever with this? No, it isn't. It's all designed to liberate you, okay? To move you. This month, January, the whole first quarter of 2024, I've talked about it, is a setup. It's a setup for when there's all this energy beneath the surface. Going to come to the surface very quickly come Q2 of this year, I'll tell you what. Probably toward the end of March, to be honest with you. But either way, it's time to make some changes. And these changes, while it may not be easy, the prediction is you're victorious with it. And that may be a little bit of what kind of gets you going. If this is a bad habit, like, drinking or smoking, kind of a thing like that, if it's one of those sorts of things, you can be victorious with it and then want to celebrate by having a drink or a smoke. You can't, that's just the way it can be. But either way, some of you may feel like this is forced upon you. It's not. It's happening for a reason. Why it happens within the energy, why the energy sets up this way, I don't know. It could be a lot of things. It has a lot to do, I think, right now, with a lot of the weather patterns that are happening. The weather is energy, and the weather affects us a lot more than what most people realize. Okay, so you're watching the news and you're watching the weather and you see some crazy weather forecasts. Keep in mind, things about to get different, things about to change, things about to be weird. It's not just the weather affects some people who have joint issues, their knee hurts when it's going to rain. It's not seasonal effect disorder kind of thing like that. It is energy. It is a big part of what affects us on a daily basis. Either way, some kind of pattern or routine that you've been in is coming to an end this week. You're going to have signs that show you, right? That I say this week because the energy is here for it this week, but you're all moving different speeds on your timeline. So it could be sometime in the next month or so, right? But you will see signs that you need to make that change, that routine needs to change. It might be very minor for some of you, but it could be very major. Either way, do not see it as a punishment. It's happening to liberate you, to prepare you for what's coming, which is something brand new. I didn't even look what was under the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Wands. New horizons. But she's not ready until she's ready to get in that water, right? So it's all set up. It's part of the energy I wrote about in my January write-up. It's part of the energy I talked about in my Q1 reading of 2024. It's coming up here. It might be a habit. It could just be a routine. We get stuck in ruts. We do. And you might say, a cynic might say, well, doesn't this just create a new rut? Yeah, it does. But down the road, the energy will change and you'll get out of that one. Either way, I see this new one because of the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Wands and the Six of Wands, Victory. I feel this energy as very liberating, as something very good. All right, it's a good habit to get rid of. All right, it's a good routine or rut to get rid of. All right, changing patterns. Let's pull on it. All right. I hope the fuck it is you. These are magic times in life when stuff like this happens. You know, they don't always happen. I always tell you the energy has to be right for things to happen, right? It does. You can't make things happen if the energy isn't right for it. You know, I give the example with 3D energy of going on a picnic. You may want to go on a picnic. You may have your picnic basket all packed. But if it's pissing down rain with 50-mile-an-hour winds outside and lightning, the energy is not right for that picnic. You can have the basket as packed as you want to. All right? So, right now, especially here in the energy of January, the energy is right for what I've been talking about to happen. All you got to do is flow with it. That's it. That's all you got to do. And that Two of Swords told me a lot. That's kind of what I'm pulling on. I'm pulling on that Two of Swords energy. Some of you may see it. Why am I being punished here? This is a punishment. No, it's not a punishment. It's not. It is not at all. It's actually something that's designed to liberate. And I got a card that fell on the floor. The bottom energy here, the environmental energy, is 3 Pentacles, while I pick up the card that flew out of the damn deck, which is a 3 of Cups. Unreal. Look at this. 3 Pentacles, 10 Cups. I mean, that's the environmental energy around this. And this right here is it's an emotional liberation, the way it feels for me. Okay? Emotional liberation. We'll figure out more about that as we go. With center card here, 2 of Wands. Yeah, again. It's a setup energy, right? It is. She got some big decisions to make sitting there. She looked like she contemplating, right? 2 of Wands. It's not typically a reading of this card, but I'm going to read it this way anyway because it's the energy that's reflecting off of it. Sometimes our hand is forced. Sometimes we're forced to make a fucking decision, okay, about which way to go. Just like in this picture, I talk about this all the time. The apartment's empty. There's nothing there for her anymore. She's looking outside longingly, but part of her still wants to stay in that apartment. Her hand is forced here. She got to make a decision. She can stay there. She can use her free will to stay there. But the moving truck is packed down on the street. You know, so she got to decide, am I going to sit here and contemplate, never go anywhere, or am I going to go down, leave, get down to the truck? Sometimes our hand is forced. And the energy right now is set up energy. And when it's set up energy, a lot of times we get backed into a corner. You may not like it, but that's tough shit. We don't control the energy that comes in that we have to deal with any more than I control what these readings are and the energy that comes in for them. Right? I knew this energy was here. I was hoping it would show up. But I don't know. I could be shuffling on something else. I could have gotten a triple devil reading or something like that. I mean, I don't know. You know. No, this is all very good. It's all very good. But you're going to have to make a decision. And I think you're getting this reading because of that Two of Swords. Because you might think it's a punishment or it's bad or resent having to make a decision. I don't want to stop this routine. I like this routine. I like this habit. Yeah, you might. You know, speaking as an ex-smoker, I liked them. You know, I loved them. I didn't want to stop, but my hand got kind of forced at some point. You know, I always told myself I start waking up with a cough, it's time to stop. Well, I started waking up with a cough, and that's a moment you stop. It's funny, David Gilmour from Pink Floyd, right? David Gilmour used to be a smoker back in the 70s. For example, I'm just using it as an example. This is, for most of you, this is way beyond something like smoking. This is life-changing habits and routines. But he was a smoker back in the 70s. And I don't remember what song it was, but he heard his voice back on one of the tracks. And that right there was his sign to quit. And he quit right, just cold, just straight off. Sometimes, you know, we just get little signs that it's time to change a routine or change a habit. This is one of those energies, but I think you're getting this reading so that you know it leads to something great. It leads to a solid, stable future, new beginning, an actual future with 10 cups here, you know? And there's also 4 wands here. I mean, I can't pull a bad card here. It teaches you something. The Page of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups. I mean, it's crazy. The environmental energy around it is fantastic. But I can dig it. Look, I can dig it. Sometimes we resent being forced to make a decision, you know? Maybe they're converting this apartment she had for years to condos, and she got no choice. You gotta make a decision. You get right of first refusal on the condo, but if you don't have the money, you gotta move. You know, they give you a 60-day notice and say, get the fuck out. We converting. You know, here, you want to buy it? Buy it. You don't, you gotta go. It's just the energy is setting up right now. It's setting up for something big. This is a big year. Okay, it's a year that I called 32. That's a big number. Read my blog article on the 2024, the year of 32. It's a big, big number. There's big things setting up. I can feel it. It's a year that opened here with an earthquake. And whenever that happens, when I look back at my notes, years that opened with an earthquake in January, very rare, those have been big motherfucking years. All right. So I'm just saying, don't resent it. Don't look at it. Just make the change. All right, just do it. All right, what's red with 3 cups? This is a nice energy. It's you feel something about this changing of habit is a breath of fresh air for you, okay, in some way. And again, it can apply across the board. What's red with 3 cups? I don't have a bad card here. Why is it setting up? Why is this happening? Page of Cups. It's a new lease on life is what I get here. It's a new lease on life, okay? It really is. It's just almost essential to change this habit or pattern for you to have any kind of emotionally uplifting future. You're spinning your wheels in the current. It's very clear from the energy that's here and from the environmental energy around this here, especially with the 4 of Wands there, that you're spinning your wheels on some level in the staying with this pattern or habit or whatever it is. I'm telling you, the energy is right for it. It's there. May even show up in your horoscopes for all I know. That's how powerful it is, because the astrology is playing a little bit of a role in the way it's pulling on the energy. But the core energy itself is all about this. It's all about this. So it's time. Your hand is forced in some way. Could be this week, could be this month, could be in early February. I don't know. Could be near future influence for you, could be happening for you right now, could have just happened last week. Do not know. The energy is here though. Some sort of, your hand is being forced to make a decision. And you may not like it, but it's time to make a decision. It's time to make the move. It's time to make the change. It's time to change the habit. It's time to change the routine. It's time to change the thought pattern, whatever it is. I got no bad cards here. And I'll tell you what, randomly when I pick up the witches to clarify, I got the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom. And this is that energy of the Ace of Pentacles where I'm drawn to the golden color here. It's the most solid new beginning. It really is. And while the road to it may not be fun, moving isn't fun. I used my analogy of moving here around this 2 of Wands a minute ago. I'll do it again. It's not fun. It's a pain in the ass moving. You got to pack all your shit. You got to worry about somebody dropping it. You got to move it to the new place. You got to unpack it. It's a fucking pain in the ass. Relationships end over moves. That's how stressful they are. It might be, but it's decision time. All right. Now, I'm not going to worry about the base energy. I'm going to pull on the 3 of Cups, because this is your encouragement to make the right decision. And you can make the decision to find, I dare say the right decision. Because the way this energy leads is falling, you're just spinning your wheels if you don't make the change. You're not going anywhere. It'll just be the same thing over and over again. That leads to boredom, leads to a rut, whatever it is. I don't know. It's going to be different for all of you. For some of you, it's a very small thing. For others of you, it's a big, big change of lifestyle. You know, change of habits and patterns and routines and things like that. All right. You'll know when it's time, because you'll feel like, okay, I have to do it. I mean, I gave you enough examples, right? You know, I mean, it is what it is. It's going to play out differently for all of you. Right now, I want to pull on this 3 of Cups. This is a euphoric energy off of this. It's fucking orgasmic. It's great. I mean, it's fabulous. Jesus, unbelievable. Look at that. They're running out in the field all happy and shit, right? It's like we just had a foursome and I did a good job. Right, there we go. They out in the field having a good time. Woohoo! All right, let's do it. Why is the Three of Cups here? Tell me about this energy. That's the kind of flow of energy that's there. It's real nice, right? What's going on? Three of Cups. Tell me more about it here. Look at that. All that shuffling. I was shuffling the whole fucking time I was talking. The whole motherfucking time. And then look what came back. The Ace of Pentacles. I swear, I was shuffling the whole time I was talking. And it just came back around. It will not go away. The universe is saying here exactly what I read off of this. It's the most solid new beginning in the tarot. If you make this decision to make the change, right? Go for it. You won't regret it. You might regret it on the road in the process. All right, I get that with the move here. A lot of times you regret a move while you're moving. Right? Should have just stayed where I fucking was. This is a pain in the ass. The moving truck fell off a cliff, drove off a road. What a fucking pain in the ass. You know, it is. It's a pain in the ass moving. It is. That's why I don't do it very often. But, you know, you're always happy at the end of it, right? You know, it is what it is. It's what it's, especially when you find you're going to a place that's better than where you were, right? What's on top here? King of Wands. There's something about this as you go through this. There's something about making these lifestyle changes or making the habit change or changing the routine, whatever this is for you. There's something about it that as you go through the process, it actually boosts your ego a lot. Your self-confidence rises because of this. At the end of the road, I think based on this three of Cups here, right, you feel like if I can do this, I can do anything. Right? And that is the kind of attitude you want to move into the future with. That is the kind of energy radiating. That confidence makes you very attractive, and it attracts things to you. It attracts opportunities and people and all of that. We'll get to that Page of Cups in a moment. Why's the King of Wands here? Six of Cups. Wow. There's a lot of energy on that. Be careful of nostalgia here. Okay? Be careful of nostalgia. It's the one hiccup to making changes. Trust me, there's a reason, for example, people that go through 12-step programs to quit drinking and things like that. One of the things they're always told is you got to get rid of your old drinking buddies. You can't hang out with your friend Chris that used to drink all the time and go hang out with your old, you can't do it. And there's a reason for that. It's this very energy that's coming off this Six of Cups. There's that nostalgic energy. There's all kinds of people that don't make changes in their life because they think there's always that moment when you're going through a process where you're changing habits or changing routines, where you get nostalgic for the old routine in some way. You think it's going away. It's not going away. If your routine is to go somewhere and do something, but you probably, you know, but it's gotten stale, so your energy's gotten stale, you can still go back to it every once in a while, right? You can. Even this girl moving here, she's going to miss that apartment. Yeah, so maybe I should stay. Maybe I should find a way to not go. Oh, yeah. You can always drive by and take a look, right? I got places I used to live that I miss. I miss them a lot. And sometimes I just take a ride by. It's cool. There's always some asshole that ruined the place who got it after me. But aside from that, and plus you got pictures and things like that, you know. But at the end of the day, there's a warning here to be careful of nostalgia. And I say that because when I ask why the King of Wands is here and I get that nostalgia kind of energy off of that, the King of Wands doesn't like that. He doesn't like to feel, right? So he shuts that down. Well, I don't want that. You know, you're always trying to take the easy way out. Don't try and do that. Go for the aspect here where this boosts your ego and just keep plowing forward with it. I don't think you have a choice. I think this is an energy because it's such a powerful setup energy where you're forced to make a decision. A lot of people resent that. I can dig it. And I could talk about 1,000 different ways this could play out. A lot of people have to make a decision. I memean, it could be a health issue for some of you. You may have to make a decision about a surgery and you may not like it. You may be like, I don't like having to make this decision. You just put that down for a moment. All right, make yourself a pros and cons list if you need to, right? Just you don't want to, it's happening not as a punishment, as a way to liberate you. Okay, it's about that. I mean, the future is bright here, moving away from the pattern, the cycle, the habit, whatever it is. All right, whatever that decision is for you. That said, just using the health thing as an example. That's it. I'm not saying there's anybody here where that's it. Might be. I don't know. All right, but I'm just saying, don't let that get you. All right, what's going on here? Page of Cups. I like that. I like that. It's a whole lot of energy on it. It attracts new love to you. Yeah, I get that. But also, it's a little bit of that, again, I'm very rarely drawn to it, the flying pig here. It's a little bit of when pigs fly. It's a little bit of you're spinning your wheels, and this is a chance for you to see that things can happen that you never thought could happen, right? Your future's so bright, you got to wear shades kind of energy, shall we say, from that old song from the 80s. Although I think they need to edit that song. There's a line in there, your future's so bright, you got to wear shades, that talks about 50 thou a year would buy a lot of beer. 50 thou a year won't get you too. You can't even have a place to live in Los Angeles or San Francisco or someplace if that's all you make. There's people with 6-figure incomes these days still living with mommy or having 5 roommates. So that being said, they need to edit that song and to maybe 150 thou a year will buy a lot of beer. One or the other. Either way, Page of Cups. It's dated. It's from the 80s when 50 thou a year was good. But it is what it is. Page of Cups. Oh, here we go. Page of Cups. What do we get here? Tell me about it. Liberation. 9 of Pentacles. Look, the end of the rainbow here, just do it. Just make the decision. I mean, do what you want. I have to say that. Make your own decisions. I get it. Remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only, right? I am not to take the place of your own thoughts, right? All that kind of stuff. Yes. But my God, talk about, I mean, the second showing here of 9 Pentacles, it's a beautiful energy. You definitely, whatever this decision you're forced to make is, sticking with it and not changing from it, you're spinning your wheels. You're cheating yourself out of quite a little future here, I'll tell you. What's on top? 6 of Wands, victory. More cards from the pre-shuffle from another deck, all falling on the final outcome card here. Why is the 6 of Wands here? The Magician. Massive transformation. This is alchemy energy. It's led into gold. It's a massive victory. It's a victory on an epic level. E-P-I-C. Capital fucking letters. Epic level. Massive transformation. So, take the reading for what it's worth to you. It's different for all of you, but we are during this setup energy, and it's here with us for about the entire first quarter of 2024. But it's pretty strong right now. This week, it's pretty strong. Some of you, it'll happen this week. Some of you this month, whatever it is, you're going to be forced to have to make a decision. And people don't often like that, and that came up in the reading. And I'm encouraging you, because you watched this reading, to like it, to see this future opening up for you. It's pure magic. I mean, it truly is. I've got, and you know what? It also liberates. If you want to see the liberation here, the contrast, the juxtaposition, what's crossing this? What are we liberating from? 3 swords. Okay, so those are the 2 environmental energies. You can either not make the change in lifestyle, in habit, in routine, in patterns that's on offer when it becomes on offer to you. And you know, right? You can either make it or not make it. Make it, and it's 9 of Pentacles. It's liberation. It's victory. Don't make it, and it's 3 swords. It is. You shoot yourself in the foot quite a bit. Look at that. It's my desert queen underneath that. She got an empty cup. It's my desert queen of cups. So, that's that. That's what we get. Let me see if there's anything else the universe wants to tell you. I'm going to grab the little animal deck. Let's see. Anything else? It's powerful energy. It really is. It's there astrologically as well in this coming week for sure. Very, very powerful. It's centered around the new moon in Capricorn. That new moon is sort of causing, on some level, the forced decision, we'll say, in part. Okay, it's playing a big role anyway. Little what I'm calling the Capricornication moon. Capricornication. All right, we'll get to it. I'll pull on it. Don't worry. I'll probably pull on it right on top of it somewhere around Thursday. All right, because I think that's when it's happening, around the 11th or so. All right, let's go. But anyway, pay attention here. This is important for somebody. I don't care if this is just one person. Please, get up off your ass and get down to that moving truck. All right? This is beautiful. I don't like that so much. I don't like spinning my wheels in life. You know, myself. I like to reflect, look at what needs changing, and adjusting and changing. Sometimes changes are hard. Okay, fine. Most things worth doing are hard. You know. All right, let's go. Let's see if there's anything else the universe wants to tell you. One card and a crossing card. What do we get here? What do we got? Okay. I see the bottom card. You hear my voice lump, right? Ace of Swords. And it's crossed by the Five of Wands. This is one of those decisions. It's funny, actually. There's a bit of humor here. I'm gonna apply some humor here. It's probably not humorous, but I'm going to apply some humor. This is one of those things that's kind of a no-brainer. This choice you're forced into making. This crossroads you reach and you got to pick a fucking direction, right? The correct direction. We'll call it the correct direction and the wrong direction. It's going to be different for all of you what that is, so we'll just look at it that way. The correct direction has far more on its list of pros than it does cons. In other words, the wrong direction, it's just nonsense. The stuff that you would tell yourself not to make the change is absolute nonsense to the outside listener, to the outside observer. To you, you may make a big deal out of it. Energetically, it's nonsense. The evidence is far heavier in making the change in routine, the change in habit, the change in lifestyle, whatever it is for you, whatever that forced decision is. It's time to make the choice. It's time to make the decision. Sometimes we get put in those positions by the energy around us. It just collects in a certain way that we've got to make a choice. This is your choice. Don't get hung up on nostalgia. That's bullshit. That's some of the nonsense that's here. Okay? You know, there's always, anytime we make a change, I've said this before, there's always melancholy with that. We always feel like a part of us is dying. Well, because it is, in a way. Right? But that doesn't, it doesn't negate the fact that the change might be necessary. That the positives on the other side far outweigh the negatives. So that's basically what the universe is saying here. That's your reading. I hope the fuck this is you. These are golden moments when they arrive. And I hope if it arrives for you and you're someone who's forced into making a choice, you don't resent that. Because that's a waste of energy. That's more bullshit. That's more Five of Wands. That's nonsense. That's life. We're always put at crossroads. We got to make a decision. Just make the fucking decision. Right? That's it. Be a grown-up. There you go. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. Either way, the energy's here for it. It'll reveal itself to you one way or another if it's for you. Again, it can be future influence. This energy is pretty much here with us for about the first quarter of 2024. But it's very positive. I mean, I got nothing. I don't have a devil on the table. The only thing I got is that. I would go for liberation if it were me. That's it, but you make your own decision. I hope this reading was helpful. If you like this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate all the subscribers, everybody who shares, and everybody who watches. Okay, good luck.